You know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it, or you're not doing it consistently. Maybe you try for a few days, for a few weeks, but to follow through consistently on your word is something that is not working. Like, how come? Like, what is happening here? Because this is something that I come across so often when I talk to men in one-on-one sessions or in just connection calls or in the groups that I'm running. Following through consistently on your word is something that is so important, but also so difficult, because most men and most people, they know what they should be doing in life. They know the actions to take to achieve their goals. So why are you not doing it? And I believe this is all related to, of course, the standard that you have for yourself in your life, but also what is your relationship with your word, with your commitments, with your goals? How important is it to you? Because the way that people talk about their goals, then I already know, and the energy that is behind this, I already know if they're going to follow through or not. Yeah, I'm going to try. Yeah, I'll try this out. Oh, I'll see what happens. Like, let's just call it for what it is. It's just weak language that we're using. When people are using weak language to describe their actions and their goals, I already know that they're not going to stay consistent. Because if we would just play with this, with your relationship with the actions and with the goals, what if the actions that you know you should be taking, let's say it's going 5 times to the gym, let's say it's maybe reaching out to people on a daily basis for your services, what if that would be a non-negotiable in your life? What would it feel like if you make that action a non-negotiable? It's life or death. What if you would hold it with that much importance and with that much reverence? What would that feel like? Instead of holding it loosely. People are afraid to radically commit to actions. Because what if you make a mistake? Or what if you fail? What if you miss a day? Well, welcome to life. Welcome to being human. These things happen. But what if you hold it with that much importance? If you just hold everything loosely and you're just floating around in a half-in commitment, being 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you will never experience also real freedom. You will always start questioning things. You will always start overthinking things. You will always think like, what is wrong with me? Or maybe I'm missing some information, and you get stuck in overconsumption and overanalyzing things. The real freedom is actually in cutting off all the options, cutting off all the possibilities and radically committing. This is where the real freedom is, because you know exactly what you say yes to. You know exactly what you want to say no to. That's the power of a commitment. When I'm looking at these YouTube videos, this is freedom. I'm not questioning, how am I going to be making these YouTube videos? Maybe I should be trying this with my thumbnails, and maybe I should be trying this with my titles. I simply committed to creating daily YouTube videos. That's it. This is a non-negotiable for me. So every single day, I'm in the car, I'm recording a video. That's my commitment. I'm not attached to any kind of results or anything that I'm trying to get. This is my word. This is my commitment. And I follow through. Similar to the gym. It doesn't matter what I feel. It doesn't matter if I'm tired. The only thing that I'm mindful of is if I'm not injured or anything like that. But if I'm not sick, if I'm not injured, I will go to the gym 6 times a week. No matter what, it's a non-negotiable. What if you would treat your actions like that? The actions that you know that are important to you. What if you would treat them as non-negotiables? This is actually just the core of this video and the perspective that I invite you to play with. If you have been, let's say, slacking when it comes to following through on your word or being consistent with things because you've been giving yourself a way out. It's not important enough to you. And you need to be able to create this internal urgency for yourself. Life is not going to do this for you. You don't always have the right people and the right environment around you and the right amount of pressure that makes you, let's say, accountable to every single thing, and you do the actions consistently. You need to be able to cultivate this by yourself. You need to create this internal urgency for yourself. You definitely use your environment to your advantage to follow through on your commitments. But this is a skill that you can develop. Taking things more seriously. Not taking yourself so seriously, but take your commitments seriously. Take your words seriously. This shows up in every single little thing. This is the kind of standard that you need to hold for yourself. That you are a man of your word. Even with the little things, as in, I'm saying I'm going to be on time at this appointment. You are going to be on time, no matter what. This is the kind of, let's say, way you want to hold your word as a man. You need to up your standard. You need to make things more important. You need to make things non-negotiables. And not just think about this. Yeah, this is important to make something a non-negotiable. This is also already how you know that someone is, let's say, holding this from a weak place. What would it feel like if you approach life with that intensity? You will get things done. If you have your nutrition plan, if you have your workouts, just to have health and fitness as an example, if you would make it a non-negotiable, why would you make it a non-negotiable? Why is it so important to you? What would make this life or death for you? And this is where I believe if you are able to create internal urgency, it is such a powerful tool. It is such a powerful tool. And I believe for me, it's simply how I create internal urgency is also attaching the actions itself and my commitments to who I want to be in life. So if I would ask you that question of what is the kind of man that you want to be? The man that is living in alignment with the fullest expression of his potential. What does that man look like? What kind of standards is that man holding for himself? What does that expression look like? If he is living fully in alignment with what he's capable of in this world. He wouldn't be holding his commitments so loosely. He holds it with intention, with intensity, with urgency. That's constantly what you want to compare yourself to. So this is the internal urgency, as in, if I give my word to something, I'm going to follow through. Because this is the kind of man that I want to be in life. I want to be a man that is living in alignment with his potential. And not a man that is slacking in life. Because, and if we want to approach it even from a negative way, because a positive way is as in, oh, this is what I want to move towards. But the negative way is, what if you don't? What if you keep on slacking? What if you keep holding your commitments from this weak place? What if you keep this lack of consistency in life? Where do you end up in life? How do people view you? What will people think about you? If they saw a documentary of your life, a film crew is following you every single day, and they're recording how you're on your phone, doom scrolling, you're giving your word to something and you're not following through on your commitment. You try to go to the gym, you try to eat healthy, and it's not working. You try to start this business, but you take months to even send the first message. You're just procrastinating. You say you're going to read books. Maybe you're even lying to other people about your commitments. What will people think about you? What would that feel like? If you could see other people watching your movie like that. So this is, again, how do you create urgency? You take these things seriously. Increase the pain of these decisions that you're making right now. Increase the desire towards the vision that you want to move towards. Play with all of these elements to create that sense of urgency. Not to destroy you, but I know plenty of men that must take their life more seriously, that must take their commitments more seriously. They're holding everything way too loosely. And it's not serving them. So what would it feel like if you approach life and your commitments as non-negotiables? That you are a man of your word, with more intensity, with radical commitment, with a sense of urgency. What would that feel like? And let that energy create in life.